Okay, hello everyone. My name is Laquan Williams, and today I'm going to be doing my review for the most recent episode of The Flash. It aired last night, which is May 25th, 2022, on the CW TV network. The episode is Season 8, Episode 16, and the episode is called The Curious Case of Bartholomew Allen, aka Barry Allen. Obviously, his full name is Bartholomew, short for Barry Allen, who is also The Flash, aka the Scarlet Speedster of Star City. So basically, what happened, and obviously we saw what took place at Star Labs. What happened last night was obviously what we can classify as a filler episode. The reason why it's called a filler episode is because last night's episode did not have anything to do with Iris West Allen's disappearance, Deathstorm, and obviously Killer Frost until the end of the episode when Barry Allen destroyed Caitlin Snow's whole entire laboratory in a rage of a lightning spurt, which he shot from his whole entire body. You saw the red energy coming out of his basically his aura and his energy out of his body, and he destroyed the whole lab when he found out what Caitlin Snow was doing, which was obviously trying to bring Killer Frost back to life in a weird science type of experience, and or mad scientist type of way. When he asked her mother, Caitlin Snow's mother, where was she? She said, well, technically what happened was Caitlin Snow's mother asked Barry if she's seen her. Well, actually, no. Barry asked Caitlin if she was Caitlin Snow was with her. Apparently, Caitlin Snow told her mother that she was staying with her. Barry went to go find her, and because Caitlin Frost's mother said she lied, and she said she was not with her, so she lied. So Barry found out she was there. I don't know if he asked Chillbane, but Chillbane was not in this episode. Neither was obviously Iris West Allen, Sue Dearborn, or Dante. I forgot the time god's name, who's been helping them. I think his name is I keep as yeah, I forgot his name. It's not Dante or Damien, but anyways, he was not in this episode. Obviously, trying to help Iris. He screwed Barry obviously over in the last episode where he trapped him in his Speed Force. Oh, excuse me, it's Dion. I forgot. So Dion was not in this episode. Neither was Iris West Allen or Tenya, Sue Dearborn, and that was it. Also, yeah, so basically those people are in the episode as well. So what happened was Barry was running around, obviously trying to he was not worried. He was worried about Iris in the back of his head, but he just didn't mention it until I believe what was her name? Not Allegra. Cecile mentioned it obviously to Barry. What happened in this episode is Barry was fighting up against just a regular guy who you thought obviously was not going to be a problem for Barry, but that seemed to not be the case. He was going up against a professor named Dr. Orlin, who built this big, huge, because he's a scientist, very smart guy, the machine that would take the youth and the power from life force from people, and if he would be able to transfer it and harness it in his machine to keep all the energy, because he's old and he's trying to make himself young. He's trying to de-age himself and make himself younger, which he obviously did, because when Barry finally defeated him, you could see he de-aged about 20 years based off what he looked like obviously previously. So I looked up what he just some history on him. You could find this on the DC fandom database, where it shows a list of all types of characters, enemies from DC comic books, TV shows, and whatnot. It says that this is what it says. The history: the pinnacle of Professor Orloff's research was the development of Red Trinity, three super speedsters who he considered to be his children. He had long wanted to immigrate to the United States, but long after Red Trinity kept him in his homeland. He is apparently a brilliant Soviet biogenetics scientist or geneticist who worked at the Politsky Institute. I don't know if he has any other ties to, the communist Russia, obviously the Soviet Union, and or the KGB, but it's possible, obviously. Just like how they had the Marvel, obviously, and with Shield, the Agents of Shield. How Red Skull and them had obviously their connections to the obviously, those bad guys in the 19s who were led off by the 1940s, who were led by the guy named Adolf. Obviously, we'll just keep it like that. Obviously, so basically, he really wanted Professor Olaf wanted to keep the Red Trinity in his homeland. Apparently, he has some connection with some speedsters. There were none in this episode. Apparently, the next episode was supposed to be one coming in, but the only one that we saw was confirmed was Reverse Flash, which would be the next episode of Flash, called Season 8, Episode 17. I have the video promo right here on YouTube on TV promos. a website. It's called YouTube channel. It's called Keep It Dark, where he comes back, and we see he is on Lian Yu being held prisoner by Argus. In a facility that's secluded and obviously secure and isolated away from people because he's on a whole other island, which obviously was the island where the Green Arrow crashed his boat and almost died. And he had to come back. Before he came back to obviously Star Central City, he was there training obviously to become the Green Arrow before he even came back to America and obviously Central City. So that's what's going to happen in the next episode. So continuing on with Professor Orloff, it says, when the Flash came to Siberia to bring Orloff back to the U.S. to cure Dr. Jerry McGee, Orloff agreed to go, but when Red Trinity expressed their desire to also go to America, McGee recovered from his many injuries and subsequently collaborated with Dr. Orloff and Dr. Conrad Bortz in order to find a way to return the Flash's speed to him after it was lost when he was injected with the Velocity 9 by Vandal Savage. So he's in the comic books, obviously, but he first appeared in 1987 in The Flash Volume 2, Number 7, which was December 1987. So he is a character in the comic books. I just never heard about him, but I don't know if he's going to be back. But his name is Dr. Prier Olaf, basically. So we'll see what happens. In his photo here in the comic books, he's bald, but on the show, he had hair, even though it was gray, and he still had some left. But we'll see what obviously happens with him. It's Peter Olaf, excuse me. So basically, that's what happened. Barry was trying to stop him. He thought it was going to be easy. Things were looking pretty well for him, and obviously that was not the case. So when Barry got hit by his machine, it aged Barry about 20 years overnight. But it was not shown to the whole entire team or us. Barry was de-aging inside, so it was an internal, obviously, issue. And Chester ran a diagnostic on Barry Allen's body. He said, yes, basically, you aged 20 years, and this is obviously going to be bad. Then we learned that throughout the rest of the episode that the more Barry used his speed, the more that it was going to age him. Because of that, he was trying to fight this machine. The gamma rays, or I guess you could say, what's it called? Not isotopes. Radiation from the guy's machine, Professor Orloff's machine, hurt Barry, and obviously he was going to use it on the whole entire city. Barry had to stop him. No one else helped Barry. He said Allegra was going to help him, which was that was something that was suggested by Cecile, but Barry said, no, I'm the only one who can stop him because we need to obviously hit him with enough power and charge in his machine as a bit to basically hit enough with enough charge and or speed to slow it, to speed it up, to override it, to overpower it so it explodes on himself. Allegra could help Barry, but she couldn't really do that, and neither could Cecile. She said she could help Barry, but there was nothing that she can do to help him. This has been happening like past couple episodes. It's been really annoying where Cecile's kind of trying to insert herself into the field, and that did happen a couple weeks ago with Allegra and Barry, but she can't attack these people because Professor Orloff's machine is very powerful, and like I said before, if you couldn't take down Despero or even Deathstorm, who are very powerful, and they both literally jumped into Cecile's mind and almost killed her, how can you take on Professor Orloff? He doesn't have powers, but he's very smart, and he uses obviously his expertise and geniusness to his advantage to build a machine that was so powerful that it could zap the life force and energy from other people and make them old, while giving the age of the youth from those people to him, so he would become young forever, aka immortal, which is what Chester obviously told Barry in this episode. He said he's trying to make himself immortal. That's obviously what he's trying to do. There was, like I said, no mention of anybody else from the previous episodes. The Chester being hacked situation was not talked about. Deathstorm, Iris West Allen. That's basically what happened. In the end, Barry tried his best to not to try to stop Professor Orloff. He did, but Barry had a heart attack because he de-aged another 20 years. So he was basically like, 60, 70, almost about 80 years old on the outside. You could tell. But on the inside, it started changing. He got gray hair. He was hurting when he was using his speed. His bones were becoming older, and he was aging. So his machine, obviously, Dr. Orloff's machine worked. Barry defeated him at the end by overriding the machine, running around it very fast. I think he went to he couldn't go under a Mach 10 as far as speed, but he was able to override it, give it enough power to basically blow itself up, and he did, and he changed back to his regular self. Dr. Orloff aged back to his regular self with his liver spots on his hands and his gray hair, which was obviously almost gone because of balding. And that's basically what happened. And Barry told him, you can enjoy spending the rest of the years that you have left of your life in jail, in Iron Heights or wherever he's going to prison. So that's basically what happened, or Argus, in their custody. That's basically what happened. And then in the end, like I said, Barry destroyed Caitlin Snow's Caitlin Frost, not Killer Frost, Caitlin Snow's lab, where she was in her house trying to bring back Killer Frost with Chillbang's help. Chillbang was not in this episode. Him and Killer Frost are obviously together. They're dating, and he loves her. He wants her to come back by any means necessary, but he obviously did not tell the team. Neither did Caitlin Snow. So people are speculating on some videos that Caitlin Snow is going to turn bad because of what Barry did, and she's going to help the Reverse Flash. If that actually does end up happening, she probably will end up being gone off the show, which means Deathstorm will probably end up killing her with Killer Frost coming back. And Katie or Killer Frost, Caitlin Snow, will be gone, obviously. And Danielle Panabaker will just be probably a director behind the scenes on the show. But she directed this episode, but even though she was in it as well. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. We'll see. But yeah, like I said, the Reverse Flash will be back on the next episode, which will be season 8, episode 17, titled Keep It Dark. I have it right here. He's back. Some people were speculating on some of the promo videos I've been seeing on YouTube that he's the one pulling the strings, using Dion to attack Barry and Iris and the whole entire team from behind the scenes with the Still Force situation. And he possibly could be attacking the other forces as well, which is why no one has been able to reach them, along with the Speed Force as well. So we'll see what happens with that. It was an okay episode, like I said, just a filler episode. Some people were even saying on the YouTube channel that this felt like a season 1/season 2 OG original Flash episode, which was a filler episode, but it felt like a old school, obviously, rendition of what Barry and the team have done in the past. But like I said before, what I've been watching is, with Cisco gone and Killer Frost gone, Barry has no help in the field besides Allegra, but she obviously has not been able to help in the last couple episodes. Cecile can't do anything really because her ability to be an empath / psychic motivational speaker / healer doesn't work on bad guys, obviously, who are trying to kill people, take over the planet. As you can see with Despero and Deathstorm, they both almost killed her, and she didn't survive with bleeding out of her ears and nose. But the rest of the team, when Despero attacked her because of his abilities to evade people's minds, also Deathstorm, who possessed her body a couple episodes, and she couldn't do anything after she reluctantly and this finally said, "Bring it on! I'm ready for him. I'm not scared of Deathstorm." That ended very quickly within 2 minutes when he literally possessed her whole entire body. So I was just finding that funny and laughing at that. She's really annoying. The Joe West situation is funny with the Dungeons and Dragons. I guess you could say great game that they had, the family game, quality time that they had, where he dressed up like a Black Gandalf. It was pretty funny. He had fun at the end of the episode. And that was pretty cool since he's not going to be on the show anymore. Jesse Williams won't be playing Captain Joe West anymore. He's going to be gone after this season. He'll be in the next season, season 9, which will be the final one. But he'll probably only be on in a couple episodes because the show will be over then. Cisco Ramon will be back. Harrison Wells, any other characters from the past will make cameos, and the show will be over, in 10 to 12 episodes based on how many they do on the CW TV network. I had no idea, but we're just going to guess and speculate myself here. Everybody else can do the same thing, obviously. But we'll see what happens next week when the show comes back on. Reverse Flash will be in the episode. He's in the trailer. Barry goes to Lian Yu to confront him. I guess he figures it out that he's the one behind all this destruction with using Dion as a pawn to go after Iris because there was nobody doing it besides him, and obviously it was not Deathstorm. He's attacking everybody else. Obviously, he's fixating on Caitlin Snow and Killer Frost, obviously, because of the connection that they have with Robbie Raymond, a.k.a. Robbie Amell, who plays, obviously, Deathstorm and also Firestorm on the show. But the whole situation with Iris is different. That's all Dion, and apparently the Reverse Flash's plot that's been hashed together, and he's been using him. I guess he's been able to give him extra power, and he says, in order for you to help me get out of here, I'll help you take the Flash down. You'll get some more power. You keep Iris out of here. Barry's and the whole entire team will be in a frantic frenzy / they'll be, I guess you could say, distracted and worried because Barry's trying to save Iris, so he'll have all of his resources, time, and energy put into an effort trying to find his wife, who he loves, obviously. We saw, obviously, the last episode, Barry Allen's kids were there, but we only got to see Nora Allen help him. His daughter, Bart, was there. He was talking. We never saw him on screen. I guess they'll probably help him in the next couple episodes before the season's over to help them fight Dion, possibly the Reverse Flash, to help get Iris back from wherever she's stuck in, what timeline, and or I guess you could say black hole, maybe even, obviously, dimension, wherever she's at. Obviously, a couple years ago she was trapped in the Mirrorverse because of the Mirror Master. Now she's trapped in somewhere else in time, so it's been the same thing like that for the past couple years with Iris. She's trapped in another dimension, another timeline, another force field, I guess you could say portal or something. Either way, but that's what's going to happen with the Flash moving forward. But that's basically it. and then do my video for the review for the Flash. Like I said, characters missing. I don't know if Sue Dearborn will be back for the rest of the season. I think Chilblain more than likely will be. We'll see what happens with that, but that's basically it. The episode was cool. It was okay, but like I said, filler episode. So yeah, it was obviously kind of pretty boring. Obviously, I saw that with a couple of shows I watched it the past couple of days too. Where these were season finales, where the show's kind of over after like 25 minutes. With episodes like Law and Order SVU and Chicago PD, like the episodes were basically over. Like where I saw it as Law and Order Organized Crime was basically fun to the end. It depends which some shows is hit or miss with these season finales. The NCIS one, the LA one was over really quickly, so that actually wasn't that fun. The NCIS season finale last night was actually a little bit more better than NCIS LA, but we'll see what happens with that. It does vary from show to show, obviously, as far as the entertainment level goes. When they have season finales, we're just trying to see what's going on. But yeah, when it's like the show's over in like the episode's over 25 minutes, the rest of it is just the whole entire team talking about what happened. You're kind of getting a recap in a show within itself, obviously, like Inception, a recap within a recap, obviously. When you watch yourself when you're watching it live or a playback yourself to review it, obviously, if you recorded it or if you're reviewing it yourself. But that's basically it. That's the end of my video and review for The Flash's Season 8, Episode 16. The episode is again called The Curious Case of Bartholomew Allen. Bartholomew Allen's full name is obviously, Barry Allen's full name is Bartholomew Allen. I don't know his middle name, but that's it. That's basically a lot to say about this. So we'll see if Professor Orloff will be back in some type of capacity in the Flash. I have no idea. It is possible. You never know, but we'll see, because he is obviously in the comic books. He wasn't a one-off random rogue made-up character out of nowhere who's not really important, who's like a flame of the week, obviously, a flavor of the week who is going to flame out. We won't see him again, obviously, just a one-off situation, like random people. So we'll see what happens with that. Like Psych, obviously, who he's gone, but it's part of the Steel Force and Speed Force family situation. That's basically it. That's the end of my review for The Flash again. Thank you again for watching, and that's it. Goodbye. Thank you.